Hello and welcome to this video. I, Muhammad Anas Abdul Hamid Munshi, will be taking you ahead how I developed a University Auditorium application to solve different seating problems, seating arrangement application, and I'll be discussing how I use different algorithms to add new features like group seating, solo seating, and various different features. And to develop this system, I use Flutter as a cross-platform application development framework, which can be used to install application, write once, and use it on different platforms like iOS, Android, Windows, Linux, and so many. And here, these are the features I implemented for seating arrangement in University Auditorium. These are like the first feature is allowed admins to override or mark the seats as VIP and accessible. Also allowed grouping from 2 to 7 attendees. Also, attendees between groups don't prevent arranging solo seaters, solo attendees. Allow admin override, accessibility during registration, and also generating real-time seating visualization. And to enhance the system, I also integrated non-functional requirements like usability, performance, and accessibility, so it stand up to user expectations. In this plan-driven approach, I adopted waterfall model with little bit of V model as integration testing, unit testing. That's the main part for testing. And the system described documentation with the help of different UML diagrams, use case diagrams, activity diagrams, sequence diagrams, class diagrams, and flowcharts to show how the algorithms work. Also, the framework uses cross-platform application, as I mentioned before, Flutter, which also highly supports object-oriented programming, and which is widely used in developing complex and high-performance application. So here is the system architecture I have used to prepare the system. This at the level for the framework defining Flutter, Dart, and also material component 3. State for state management for controlling data throughout the application, I have used Provider, which is a package, a third-party library. And for the database, I have used SQLite, and Hive, which is the most popular in Android and iOS. For testing purpose, I have used Flutter Test for unit and widget testing. Also, it includes in the V model. And for development tools, I have used Flutter Inspector, Android Emulator, and an App Analyzer as a part of Dart developer tools. Here is the use case diagram, which shows interaction between actors and the system. Here, the actors are admin, attendee, and system, because basically system is automating the process for seat arrangements, auto-assigning seats, handle cancellations, and also process registration. And for the system, I've also implemented 2 activity diagrams, one for the solo seating and one for broken seat management. The first is here for solo seating. This activity diagram starts here, which checks the group size 2 to 7. If available for continuous block, then it will go through the one row, and if not, then it will split into groups. Basically, my system allows to divide the groups into 2, and if not, if a seat is available, it will assign the seats and lock it. If not, that if there is an isolated seat, let's say a single seat, solo, it goes through the system and find if it's isolated seat, yes. If it's adjacent to the groups, no, then it will assign the seat. If yes, then try next row, because it will try to prevent sitting the solo person in next to it or between the groups. And for broken seat arrangement handling, I have used a randomly generated broken seat number, and if any seat is broken, if the system finds it, it will check that is it occupied or not. If it's occupied, then first it will check for the best alternative, notify the attendee. But basically, I haven't implemented the notification part yet, and it will automatically update the seating arrangement. If the seat is not occupied but the seat is broken, it will try to mark as unavailable, so nobody can book the seat. Also, I have implemented 3 sequence diagrams to show the messages transferred between processes to process, system to system, or like different activities. The first is for age-restricted seating enforcement. Second is senior flexible seating, which implement the showing any change in the seat for senior people. It allows it get all the open seats, written list, bypass rules, and just like an admin, but it doesn't allow them to sit for the VIP, just for the regular seats. They can change the seat. And the third is for dynamically handling broken seats, which checks, report broken seats, find replacement, scan nearby seats, and if options are available, then basically it will allow the best seat and new tickets issued. And to explain the object-oriented programming model, I have also implemented the class diagram which defines assignment engine, and basically here is a model object seat type, which has types regular, VIP, accessible, age restricted, or broken as well. It defines seat, row, and different relationship between different objects, models, and entities. For overall seating, I have also implemented the flowchart, which explains a complete scenario, overall experience of booking the seat. With starting from start, it takes the input, whether it is group, number of people, age, or VIP category as well. It checks the group for contiguous, same row, same number of seats, and it will check if it's available. Then it will assign and lock. If not, then it will split into two groups. Other than if it's single person, it will check the seat between groups, not age restricted. If it's child, it will not assign the last two rows for that. And if it's senior, they will give, and they can choose any available seats for themselves. And if also at the last, it checks if it's broken, then no other, it's not allowed to book that seat. If the seat is not broken, then confirm the assignment and it will give the seat. Here is the overall seating arrangement in an Android emulator. I have tried to install it in the Android Studio with the help of Android emulator. This is the overall UI of seating arrangements, differing from different categories. Available, selected, VIP, accessible from green color, orange color describes age restricted, which cannot be allowed for children, and also implemented broken seats, which randomly generates 5 or 4 broken seats, and it doesn't allow to book the seat on that seat. So let's take a look at the application, how the application working after the algorithm and everything. So let's select a group first. Let's say 4 number of people are here, and selecting the categories regular, and let's see how does it book. So here we can use simulate group booking, or we can also do it by ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we don't want to book the seat by ourselves and just want to get automated seat booking, press the button simulate group booking. It will automatically allow this seats to book. Like you see here, there's the total number of 5 broken seats, which are 3, 7, 10, 14, 9. And even if you try to book that seat, it will not allow us. Yeah, this message, seat is broken, we cannot book that. And if you want to cancel the booking, we can also do that. Pressing here simulate cancel, it will cancel the seats, cancel 3 seats, and also this one which we did by ourselves. So we can also press one more time, cancel 3 seat reservations. Now let's check for the single person. I've selected 1 regular seat and book now. So we will try to select any one seat. Here we can do that, but if we don't want to do that, if we try to book to accessible, we cannot do that. Broken seats, it will show a message the seat is broken. And also if it's a VIP, the red one is for VIP. If we try to book the VIP as well, we cannot book that because we need a VIP coupon for that. And if it's under 16, a child, we need to, if we try to book that, we cannot book any place for this orange part because it's age restricted. You cannot select last 2 rows because it's under 16. We can only select any seats from the regular seating, not even wheelchair, not even VIP. Now let's check for the VIP. For VIP, we need to enter VIP coupon, VIP 23. That's the random coupon. If we try to press book now, we will be able to book seat from any part. Even if we try to select a seat from VIP, we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as we want. But if we want to cancel, just press simple cancel, and we'll try to cancel that. Now for admin overriding feature, I have implemented one pop-up button here. Log in as an admin. It will directly log in as an admin. The admin here, it shows the yellow border lines around the seats because we can override any seat we like. Even if as an admin, we can select a wheelchair, any seats, we can occupy it even if it's VIP or age restricted, anywhere we like. So here I have implemented algorithms in the form of methods. The first is for assigning seats. I have implemented the if condition which returns any seats from this method. Here it just randomly selects seats and it just like if on tap event it occupies it. Here where occupied and seat type is broken, we cannot do that. We cannot select the broken seat. That's why. And if it's available, count available, it will return an empty string. And for assigning accessible and senior, I have also implemented a seating plan, which is a list of an object model seat, where expands row to row, and also like it checks whether the seat type is accessible. If it's not and seat is not occupied, it will generate a accessible seat. It will book that seat. Also, for assigning single seat for single person, it allows to select any seat from the seating plan, which is a list of lists, and from that it sorts the calculation of isolation score as well. It compares to the score of different seats, and it will assign the best seat as for the solo compared to the best solo isolation score. The challenges I faced while developing this system was the biggest challenge was to design a layout for this, because a university auditorium is basically a C shape where every seat might get far from each other, even if it looks closer in the map. So I simply opted for a normal 2D layout which shows this seat arrangement instead of a C shape. So that was the challenge, by the way, but still this layout is fine and working. Another challenge was to manage the data throughout the application, where like change of object, change of values, that was one of the biggest problem. So when I used to change the data, it needed to be changed from the group size as well. So when assigning, it stimulates it, the group booking. It used to do the same thing, but for less number of people before, because there was some problem where there was some little bit issue with the variable and value changes. The lesson